Prepare for a fusion of knowledge and exhilaration where education and excitement collide.
Taking you on an adventure that expands your mind and speaks to your spirit.
I'm Master Nick.
I'm Lady Dee.
We are the Dom Life.
This podcast contains sexually explicit topics and adult content.
It is intended for listeners 18 and older.
The opinions expressed in this podcast are ours alone, based on our personal thoughts, feelings, and experiences.
We understand that others may have different opinions and experiences, and we respect that. We would love to hear from you. You can reach out to us at www.thedomlife.com.
So do you, obviously we've heard a lot of stories that are fun stories tonight. So do you have any that was kind of like a red flag that you walked away from?
Or we've definitely had we have had like incompatibility
it's all
things,
about
right?
It's 95% vibe with us.
Yeah.
You know, it's so funny when you do find new sexual partners, you know, when in the swinging, you know, lifestyle, because you're not best friends, but you'll find something, one little thing like, it's like, oh, you're into Rick and Morty too. I didn't know that. Let's talk about Rick and Morty when we're cuddling after we're done. Or it's like, one
of my friends made my day to day because we were talking about Little House on the Prairie books.
We have a lot of sexy chats going, and it's like bam, 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 bam. It's like, oh, yeah, what we're talking about here, But yeah, she said something other. She goes, oh my God, I have read every Little House. Oh my God, I have read every Little House on the Prairie book. And I was like, oh man, they just became best friends. Right. So yeah, or then you have the ones that's like, I like that tattoo. It's a Lord of the Rings tattoo, isn't it? It's like, let's talk about Lord of the Rings for the next hour. It's like, yeah, let's do that. So it's like you're not finding your soulmate.
Yeah.
But you're finding, your little
little
shards
things
of your soulmate.
Mm-hmm. Right.
It's one of the things
and
we
like,
did.
It's like, I mean, you can compare it to a community for a BDSM community.
Yeah.
You have the swing community as well.
Yeah.
You know, and you have the ones that have different personalities, but they're, you like them for this part, you know, and then somebody totally opposite, but yet you like them for that. So it's finding your community in the swing.
But we would never fool around with somebody where the vibe is not there. It's like just
Right.
like, because that.
How do you gracefully exit that situation?
Sometimes it'll be like, oh, I need to go check in with him, or we need to check in with each other, or like we have to take a pause. We have to go check in with each other.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people respect that because you can even the people we discovered the night of the concert, we were playing with them another time, and we just had a moment where we needed to check in.
Yeah.
I was against the rules, and he noticed it, and he gave me you better abandon ship real quick signal, and we had to, and I was like, we got to go check in for a minute. I was like, I got to check in with him. We did, and I mean, sometimes it's just like
I need a signal, Master Nick.
Well, we have.
I'll
one.
tell you, ours is really
that's
simple.
my
That's a
signal
good
right
signal
there.
right there.
And in case you missed it,
That's
Pretty
my
clear signal.
I would probably miss that. So he pinched it. We pinch each other really hard on the bum,
Just a weird, an awkward,
and long enough to be like, this is not me playing with you.
right?
This is I need you to pay
Time out.
attention to me right
because
now.
you can do it kind of incognito, like like if we're having a conversation, it's like,
Right.
Yes.
well, we got to get out of here. It's like,
Yeah. So sometimes it might just be we have to check in with each other, or sometimes it might just be, hey, it's been really good to meet you guys. We're going to do a lap around the
or
club, or we're
she's
gonna go
having
dance,
a really
or-
great conversation with the man, and me and the woman are not. It's like this is never going to work. It's like
Right.
this. So it's like this is just not going to. The vibe is not there.
Yeah.
And so it's like you got to let's talk about this. Like,
Yeah.
it's not going to happen.
And that's
that's rough.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that
Oh,
would
yeah.
be a rough situation because then it's not fun for all.
right.
Yeah.
And it is tough. Again, like you all said, being rejected.
Yeah.
But in the swinger community, it's easier to reject somebody and know that they're not going to go off the deep end
Right.
and cause a big scene or any of that, because you know that going in.
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
there's going to be people that you like that don't
Yeah.
like you.
Yep.
Yes,
And it's a mutual respect thing
Yes.
between everybody that's there.
absolutely.
And it's like we don't have to fuck to be friends either, right? So it's like
Yay.
we might be
We
into
have-
you,
yeah,
and
we
you're,
have-
and you're not into us,
Yeah.
and you can be like, we like you guys, but we're not going to fuck, and we'll be like, cool, awesome. You guys want to dance? Yes. Let's dance,
Right.
you know, or like, let's hang out or, let's talk to each other on the deck or something
or
like
let's do
that.
a podcast.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know. I wouldn't mind choking her. I'm just saying.
Now that could happen. So you were doing an amazing job playing with me at the sensory play the other night. I was like, I was really turned on. It was great. I was like,
And I missed that. I was so focused on making sure it went smooth.
Yeah.
Making sure
You didn't enjoy
somebody wasn't intentionally doing something
Right.
that,
Over the line. Yeah.
So I was more focused on watching the people doing the sensory and sensual play than I was the people setting and receiving it. There was a couple times I had to step in and play with somebody, but my whole goal was to stand back and watch because I didn't want anybody having a bad time. So I completely missed that.
it was a lot of fun.
We may have to recreate that one.
It was really good.
It was so
Now that is one type of play where I feel like I can top a little bit. So if it's just like the sensory play, like if we're just using implements and like we're doing some of the rubbing and stuff like that, I discovered when you all did that for the August party where we had like the Mad Hatter tea party.
Yeah.
that
I was like, wait a
was
minute.
not there.
I know. I'm so
but
sorry you missed that.
I put it all together.
Yeah, you did a
Well, your
amazing
genius
job.
was evident in the whole thing because it was I was the subject the first time, so I sat down to put on the blindfold and let people, and that was a fun discovery of somebody had a feather in my hair that they were just rubbing through my hair, and I was. Who would have thought? Like, that was amazing. I was like, man, I'm into that. That's great. And then the next demo, I was like, I'll do the implements. I'll do the sensory play. And I loved that too. And I was like, well, that was a discovery.
You know, I'll tell you a funny story about that exact thing. I bought this Cheshire cat outfit, and it was just the stupid cat ears and the little tail, and the tail was tiny.
It was like, this long of a
So
tail.
now some people are just made that way.
Well,
You can't-
well, what I did was I made my own
tiny.
tail. I made my own tail out of some socks, but then I put the Cheshire cat tail, on my crotchal region. So I was like, oh look, it's my Cheshire cat penis. But and then when we were doing the
sensory play.
the sensory play. That thing was
It was poking everybody that you played with.
and I was like, and I didn't even think about it. It's like,
Did they know that was my
violating you. I'm
costume?
sorry. I'm not violating you. And,
It's just my costume.
Yeah. So there was one was like, when it occurred to me, I was like, and I stepped back and I took it off. I was like, dummy.
Poking everybody with a cat.
It's like, geez, this guy, he's really getting
All
into
he did touched me twice, and now I'm getting poked.
it. And that tail was not representative of what's happening down there. It
was not.
All right.
It is not.
So
That's hilarious.
Oh me. All right. So going back to you talking about how you found you really enjoy paddling. So I do got to say that I do have with me
Yes.
a very nice paddle
ultimate.
that you all had give to me, and I will hold it up here for the camera
Yes,
to
the big
see
cheese.
the big cheese. So I know I've heard the story,
Yes.
but I want to hear it again. So how
Evie.
did
Evie.
You want your cheese
right
board?
there, yeah.
Okay.
Yes, yeah, it's right there. She's gonna get mine. I'm gonna show. We gotta show the world why you are the big cheese.
Oh, okay.
Because I've thought about this a lot. All right, we're not just cheese bros. All right, because at first we were just the cheese bros. All right, see, this is a normal.
That's the normal.
This is the normal.
This is the one Gray has.
Which we discovered
Yes.
through your podcast, 3 different DOMs
Yes.
at Tempted
And
have this
Tempted had
exact
the
paddle.
exact same one. It was purchased at
Hobby Lobby.
the venerable Hobby Lobby.
The Hobby
Yes,
Lobby.
the
Hobby Lobby cheese board.
And it's a cheese board. And I said, that is not a cheese board. I was like, come on, guys.
You,
and I picked
you
it
have
up and I was like,
3 pieces of sad.
yeah, what kind of cheese you going to put on here?
I want a lot more cheese on my cheese board than
So
that.
anyway, so I bought the big one. I was like, this is too much. But then, it was Nick's birthday. And I was like, I said, I'm going to give him the big paddle that I got in the back of the car that I never used. And so I said, Master Nick, you are officially the big cheese.
Big cheese.
The big cheese.
And
Yes.
so
I put it out there on my laser engraver.
Yeah.
And I've got the big cheese
Yes.
with the Dom Life logo on it. So I've
I've renamed it from Cheese Bros. We're the Pacte du Fromage.
Oh, well, that's going to be
Holy
impossible.
fuck, I can't remember
Yes,
that.
and if you have been paddled by one of the cheese bros, then you are a femme de charcuterie.
Although there are some gentlemen who've been paddled with the cheese board paddle.
It's just French for a lady of cheese board.
Lady of cheese
Pacte de
board.
fromage is like the
brotherhood of the-
brotherhood of cheese.
Well, I am never going to be. I'm going to have to listen to this episode over and over and practice that because I will never remember that.
Or you just say cheese bros.
You're cheese bros.
We're cheese bros.
So when you guys play together, I'm sorry, when you guys play together, BDSM rules.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Give me one of the rules that you guys have when you're swinging
Mm-hmm.
that she has to follow.
Well, okay, good. Okay. This is gonna sound. Well, I guess we are. Everybody knows that we're kind of big old sluts.
Yes, we are.
I said, Evie, you can put anything in your mouth you want.
Mm-hmm.
You know, sometimes like a gentleman. You know, maybe we're playing with a couple, and you know they have a friend. You know, who's a man, and it's like, is it okay if he joins us? You know, it's like, yeah, absolutely, bring it on. And you know, but she can't. It has to be. I say it has to be fair. I'm a Libra, so I have to have the scales.
I'm a Libra too.
I was going to say our essential
Totally freaking Libra.
Our essential
I'm
rule.
totally Libra inside.
Yes.
Our essential rule is even Steven.
Even Steven. Yes.
So,
Okay.
so one of the things you discover sometimes is like
Except for mouth
a
stuff.
couple might act like they're into you,
Yeah.
but they're only into you.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
so, like, they might approach you as a couple, but what they really want is for the ladies to play together.
Right.
And I like playing with the ladies, but I don't like playing in a way that leaves him out.
Yes.
Yes.
Gotcha.
So we developed that rule very early. It was like it's even Steven.
Yes.
Like if we're gonna go into a play situation, it's a situation where we both know we're gonna play.
Yes.
Yes.
And so we will play with unicorns because I like to play with ladies,
Yeah.
and so does he, and so that works out. But
Right.
we don't do a whole lot of MFM unless it's like a larger group play.
Yeah.
And then there's just different dynamics in the larger group
Everybody's
play
kind of
happening.
floating around.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
Everybody's having fun with everybody.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then we'll do that.
Yeah.
Or like if we're with another couple and like the gentleman might spit roast me and then I'll pause and they might spit roast the other lady. We might do that. But even Steven is the
That's kind of the general
bedrock
vibe.
rule of when we play is we're playing together and we're both gonna play.
Yeah.
And
Right.
that term that you used, repeat that.
Even Steven?
Spit roast.
And,
spit
and
roast.
give us the definition for those who may not know.
Oh, so one of the guys is fucking me, and then I'm going down on the
behind.
other guy.
Yeah.
So typically from behind, like one of the guys is fucking me from behind, and I'm going down on the other
Now,
guy.
isn't there, and there's a term, something like where you can do a bridge where like the two guys will, like high five or something?
That's called the devil's triangle.
There you go.
Because it makes
Okay.
a triangle.
Have y'all done that before?
I've never
I'm
high-fived
too
somebody.
in the
if
zone
I've
when
ever-
that's happening
Yeah.
to be cognizant
would
of
be-
what's happening.
That would kill the mood quick.
Okay.
In my opinion. I don't know. I mean, maybe not. I don't know. We'll try it sometime.
But even Steven, I know. Yes, you
Yeah.
know, it's
It's not fair if somebody's having fun, the other person's not.
right.
Right.
So that's one of your rules.
And you know, and we'll even do. Rarely we'll do like if there's a unicorn and you know, and Evie will be like, you know, you can go in the room. You two can go and have fun, but I am going to get, you know, some fun later with
Right.
you know a single guy, and it's like, got it, perfect, no problem, works.
But normally, if we didn't do that at first. So like when
No.
we first, but again, I mean, that's everybody has a journey. That's part of your journey.
Oh,
like 6 months ago, we would have been like, we don't do different room play. But I mean, you all have experienced this where you make friends at the club that
Right.
you develop a lot of trust with.
Yes.
Right? Where like
100%.
you would
Yes.
let that person do something with you in the dungeon that you're not letting somebody just walk in that room and do.
you would
Exactly.
give them,
100%.
you would give them your Netflix password
Yes.
Right.
and
Yes.
totally trusted. Right, they don't screw up your.
And so
Your
as we've
recommendations.
made some friends like that, like I've had the discussion, I've been like, if you want to play with her, I would be fine. Like
Yes.
if you all go into a room and play, I know I can trust her.
Yep.
I know I can trust you with
and vice
her.
versa.
I'm fine if
And
that
that's
happens.
also a safety thing too. The same room thing is not a prudish thing. It's a safety thing.
Exactly.
You're looking
Yeah.
out for your
To,
partner.
right. To make
Yeah.
sure nothing happens to your partner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we done the same thing. Our very first night at the club, driving to the club, we're still going over our rules.
Yeah.
you know,
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
I might be uncomfortable if you do this. You know, just
Yeah.
trying to think of
Yes.
stuff.
Yeah.
And then now we look back on it, 3 years later, and like you all said, there's certain people of, it's like Dante is one of them, Loki's one of them, Chris, Mandy, our tight group knit, and it's anything you want to do with them, you do it.
Yeah.
But anybody outside of that group, then
now
we're
asking permission.
and
Yes.
doing
But
all that.
even still, if there was a situation, this is the one hard and fast rule that is always in play. If I am going to come, doesn't matter who's going to make me come.
Yeah.
I have to ask permission from Master Nick
And
to actually have that orgasm.
I may not be in the room.
Uh-oh.
And sometimes I pretend I don't hear.
Oh, I love that.
I remember we had a party here at our house.
It's rough.
And I forget what all games we were playing. I know we had Naughtywood and we had a few other things. We had several games going on, and I had went to the bathroom.
Yeah.
And while I was in the bathroom, I know Dante had grabbed Lady Dee and took her back in the bedroom and started eating on her.
Yeah.
Eating on me.
Yeah.
And I could hear her, "Oh my God, Master Nick!" And I'm just standing by the sink,
Conveniently
pretending
out
like,
of the way.
right, just I'm not here. And I hear her screaming. She's like, "You got to stop! I can't come! I can't come!" And I'm like, I wonder how far.
Yeah.
I could.
Yeah.
So finally, I just opened the door and said, "You can come." And I just turned and kept on walking.
Nice.
Yep.
Well, Grey is pretty generous with me, and that is not a rule for us. Now, I could see us going into a scene where he would be like, "You can't come until I tell you you can."
Right.
But in general, I don't have to ask, which is good because I'm quite orgasmic.
I will say I am too. 100%. I am a lot.
Yep.
But if he says no, I will suck all that shit back up, and he has to start from start from scratch.
It's interesting the way that mental
awesome.
game works, though, because I might think that I'm still a little bit far away. But like if we're playing and the guy is like, "I want you to come all over my cock," that is going to accelerate.
Right.
I mean, partly it's the rule follower in me, like the one who wants to get a good grade and do well
yes.
and impress
Yeah.
you.
Right.
And it's like, okay, I can make that happen.
Or when the ladies out of nowhere just start squirting. And it's
Yes.
Like, whoa.
Right.
I'll just send you over.
So going back to your collar there, so is there any rules around that other than she can't take it off, or?
He doesn't want anybody else to touch it. And I know you all have touched on collar etiquette and stuff like that before. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's kind of more of a reminder. It's like I'm always here.
And I belong to somebody.
So how would it go? You all are swapping partners with somebody, and they want to put their hands around your neck, and there's possibly going to be touching involved with it.
Now he would be okay with that.
Would be okay with that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because the intention is not to grab your
Right, like
collar.
they're not They're not trying to like own me in that situation or control what's happening with my collar. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Like I said, just trying to get other perspectives and other.
Fun of that. People touch it all the time.
Yeah. But not in like an ownership.
Yeah, not
Right.
in that, yeah.
They're not just coming up and grabbing it and just pulling her around with it and all that kind of stuff.
It is more clear that their intention is like, I know you want to be choked, and that's what we're trying to do.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Because
So-
you take their hand and put it on your neck.
I don't know if I've done that. Have I done that?
Yeah,
Sounds like you have.
I encourage. It's more like when they get
More
super close.
encouragement.
I'm like, yes, like that, please, just like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just to let them know, yes, I really want that. Yeah.
See, she's a good communicator.
He's a good
Yes.
girl.
Yes.
We
yes.
need good communicators in
Yes.
this
That
world.
is the most important thing.
Yes. Yeah.
In ethical non-monogamy.
Yes.
Mahogany. Ethical non-mahogany.
Ooh,
Is
is
your
it a
table
little bit?
non-mahogany? You know what I mean. ENM.
Yeah.
Anyway, is communication.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, and so like another one of our rules is I don't have to ask for permission to come, but I do have to ask for permission, like when we're flirting with people, to take it beyond flirting.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
like if we're flirting and it sort of seems like this person wants to kiss me or something, I always have to ask for that.
Yes.
Like I can't, unless like he has led the way and he's kissing, I know that's a signal that, okay, I can kiss, but I can't just like go in and start and like just kiss a guy. And we learned that from me fucking up and him being like, you didn't ask me if you could kiss this person. You just started kissing this person. And I was like, well, we were flirting and we were all flirting. Like I thought we were headed that way. And he was like, no, that's not cool.
No.
He's like, this is going to be a rule for us where, don't just go.
And that was another one of those where you were having...
I was having
you
way
had made
more
a
fun than you were
connection
having. And so that is part of learning that I have tended to be the type of person where my default is to assume that a lot of people are just like me. So like the way that I perceive the world, this must be how everybody perceives the world, or my experience, this must be everybody's experience. And I'm always having to like pull back from that and remind myself like, nope, that's not the case. And so you're learning that in the lifestyle, right? Like, so at Club Tempted, because it's a lifestyle club and not just a swingers club, not everybody's here to swap. Right. And so even people who are lifestyle and not just BDSM, that doesn't mean they want to swap, right? They might want parallel play. They might want a soft swap. Or they might be like, experimenting. And I mean, there are some couples where like the wife never plays. Like she's only there to watch what happens, or she's only there for like that, for the hot husband experience, or where the husband never plays, right? And he's just there for the hot wife experience. And so I think it was part of that is in my head, I just assumed we both want to play. They both want to play. Yeah. Since I'm flirting with the guy and this is really going somewhere, it must be going somewhere for the girl too. Right. And he was like, nope, that's not what was happening here. Right. Yeah.
So speaking of you've met.
Yeah. You need that button. You need to record his voice.
Hold on.
He's getting it. The
It'll
anticipation.
Oh, where the fuck is that?
All right.
Going back to. That's actually clip it. I will have to do that. Going back to, so you've mentioned several times where you fucked up.
Yes, I fuck up quite a bit, and he does not.
What kind of punishments do you have? Do you have punishments?
No, yes. She gets a stern talking to.
Okay.
The fun is over for the night.
The fun is over for the night if I fuck up like that.
Oh,
like
really?
he will give me that signal, and then he'll be like, "We have to go right now.
It's time to go."
And I can tell from the way that he tells me that we're done. And that is hard when you're in a big situation, right? Because like you don't want to hurt your friends' feelings,
right?
But at the same time, I have to be like, we've got to check in. We're not okay.
They're coming up. It's like, is everything okay?
It's like it's okay.
Well, that's
just time for us to go.
And that's one of the things.
Right.
That's one of the things that people need to understand when it's your relationship is top priority.
Right.
Yep.
So no matter what else is going on, if we need to reconnect, then that's what we're going to do. And I'm sorry for all the people that don't understand that.
Right.
Because they're not at that point in their life, or they have no maybe DS in it at all. Yeah. Mm-hmm. They don't realize it. And for me, I agree with you 100%. When it's time to go, and if you're going to have that look, you're of course, I'm really sorry, we have to go. Mm-hmm. Is everything okay? Yep. Everything's fine. We're just doing us.
Yeah. Like we have to go check in. We have to go get right.
Yeah. Has he ever done? Just curious. Have you ever screwed up, sir?
I can't think of a time.
I am.
You are very careful.
Yes.
You really are. You're very careful.
You're perfect.
And you're more observant and careful than I am.
Can we do this podcast every week?
Absolutely.
The affirmation you're feeling.
Rush headlong into things without counting the cost or thinking about it way more than you do. You have already thought about everything and played it out in your mind and worked through how it might work. And I'm just like, okay. And
I can't really think if is no.
No.
Not that I could think of. I'm sure I'll think of something later. I'll
now,
email you.
There have been times where, like, I've spoken about, like, the emotional vulnerability where I've been like, you can't push me so hard. So it'll be, like, it might be late, and maybe it was harder when we didn't know people at the club. But the more that we've gotten to know people and we've gotten good at meeting people, this happens less. But, like, last summer, I would get hurt if I felt like he was pushing me too much. Yeah. Like he would be like, go talk to this person, go introduce yourself, and go ask her if she plays with girls, and go, and like he would be like directing everything. And if I would get in my feels a little bit if it made me feel like, oh, I'm not helping him out. I'm not being good enough. I'm not helping us out enough.
But
and that would hurt me.
It was to help you come out of your shell.
Yes.
What shell?
I know.
There used to be a show.
We're very proud of
it. And it's the give and take, right? Where it's like some nights you can go and you can be like, I can meet new people and this is going to be real 100%. Easy. Mm-hmm. Or like we God knows how many times we have been like, hey, you guys want to go play? And that can sound like it just rolled off so easily. Yeah, right. And then there can be other times where it's like, Gray, I don't know if I have it in me to meet somebody new right now. Or like, I don't know. I just don't know if I can put it out there, or I can't ask somebody to go upstairs.
But that's
right
the best
now.
thing about the club is like, well, let's go have a good time.
Yeah, like we have a good time.
Exactly.
There's times it's the same, because there are times when I'm all for it, on top of it, ready to go. I've got my games lined up. I've got everything set up, and I know it's going to be a fun time. It's all with my people. And then there's other times that I go and I sit, and everybody's like, "Are you okay?" Yeah, I want to watch tonight. Like, I don't have the energy to produce the same vibe that I normally have, because it's like, it is a cycle sometimes. And it's like, thankfully, just sitting with my friends is enough for me. I don't always have to be the upbeat, energetic person. And having Master Nick beside me, you know, I'm like, go do your thing. I'm going to just sit. And he always watches out for me. Like, he knows where I'm at all times and what's going on. And so I never have to really worry about anything, you know? So it's awesome.
But yeah. He found one.
I found it.
That's great.
But you, like, when I brought that up, you responded to that really well. And now if I tell you, if I'm like, I can't, like, I'm at the end of whatever this social battery is, I just can't do that, then you know, like, if you push me beyond that it's almost like sub drop what happens. Yeah. Because it's just this very emotional, like, I just can't be that emotionally vulnerable anymore. And it feels a lot like sub drop.
Yeah. Right.
So I have a question. You guys introduced this into your life, and you've obviously grabbed on with both hands and said, this is for us.
Yes.
What would you say to somebody who's like thinking about it, right? I mean, you guys had a lot of years in vanilla, and then you got it to this point where
it's like you said earlier, it's not something that's going to fix your relationship.
Right. So your relationship better already be good.
It has to be bedrock first. Then it's like, we could build more fun on top of this bedrock. But it's, you know, there's been situations where, like, you know, you find out it's like, well, actually, we're getting a divorce. It's like, oh, okay, well, I don't think we're going to be playing tonight.
Right. So one of my things is, you guys are strong together. Yeah. One of the questions you asked in the car, or you guys had a conversation when you were on the way here, was, had you thought about sleeping with other women before this? And that could be a trigger for a lot of women. You said, this is our safe space. Again, you guys have gotten so far into your world, your relationship. So have we. And we talk about it and touch base with it and stuff like that. Because it's like, do we want this? Are you happy with where we're at? Right. I mean, you get beautiful women on the cross all the time. Is that satisfying for you? You know, that kind of stuff. But you could very easily ask a question like, hey, I'm just curious, safe space here. Do you want to sleep with other women before this? Because that's a big problem for some women, thinking, we're all the time you were with me, you wanting to sleep with other women. Right.
Well, and I think don't ask questions that you're not ready to hear the answer to.
Exactly.
So you need to know, I'm fully mentally ready to entertain what I am really ready to entertain, whatever answer comes across here, and I can handle that.
He could have very easily said, well, you know, 7 years ago, you know, there was this person that I, you know, messaged or run into or talked to. And then you have to be mentally prepared for whatever answer he gives in that situation. Yeah.
And something I've discovered too, because like we have like these fun little conversations about like flirting with vanilla people. Yeah. And I'll be like, oh, babe, you can't flirt with vanilla people. Like they don't get it. They are not in the circle. They don't get it. And I know he is just teasing me with like, I think he's just teasing me with most of these conversations. But I do think it is different when you know you're flirting with people in the lifestyle, or you know you're getting ready to do like a lifestyle swap. Right. Because for the most part, you know, they're their people, we're each other's people. Yeah. Nobody's trying to like catch feelings here. Off, right. Like I'm not trying to add emotionally.
But have you run across people that are? Have you run?
like they're really hunting. Like I'm looking for. I don't.
Looking
not
for
to my knowledge.
So
now, who knows?
we did, and it's like on both parties' side, we could see that this was happening and extracted ourselves.
They seemed like their relationship was good, and then the more we got to talking, the more we got to know them. They was not happy.
Yeah.
And it was like, she was
Yep.
really trying to get attached to me.
Yeah.
I break that. I'll break it.
She had no interest in the guy, so he went off somewhere else. And
and then
bad.
subsequently the relationship ended and they went their separate ways, which is, you know.
We did have that one couple. They broke up right after, and we knew that they were going to break up.
Oh, they did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they broke up with us, and then they broke up with each other.
No, I'm talking about
it's not that one?
We'll talk about
We'll
it later.
talk about
I can't
it
say
later.
any specifics.
Yeah.
Right.
Now you talking about him wanting you to flirt with vanilla friends, and I know you all say you don't do the club or the bar scene, but I do got to say, if you ever get the opportunity of hanging out with lifestyle friends at a vanilla club or a bar,
Yes.
it is fun as hell to watch the reactions from the vanilla friends.
You mean as they pull out their cameras and they're videoing
Every
our
guy,
ridiculousness?
Every guy's leaning up against the wall with
Because
their
the
phone
outfits are a little bit more revealing.
Yes.
And
the girls are out there kissing and flirting and spanking each other. And
We've had not to that. We didn't have quite that much fun, but we've had a little bit of that, right? Where it's like we were on a date with a couple.
Yeah.
And then we mixed that with meeting some of his vanilla friends. And so we were all trying to be very good. But I know there was a vibe.
That was so funny.
And there were these two girls who were there, and they were kind of flirting with us.
Okay. Oh.
And
I think I can tell this story without revealing anything, because it was hilarious. So we had a hotel date planned with this with a lifestyle couple. And they're awesome, and they got really weird schedules. It's hard to make it happen. So I was like, we made it happen. And then I remember I told my work friend I was gonna do karaoke with them, and so I was like, I don't know, it'll be fine. We'll have some fun. We'll go do karaoke, and then we'll come back and we'll have some more fun. And it's like, and I said, my work friend's not gonna ask any questions.
And I was like, you need to have a story ready.
And so I said, man, just say we were just old friends. We've known each other forever. That was I was
That's
reckless.
such a man.
I was reckless. I was being reckless.
There was no plan.
I was raw dogging it. And I was like, it's all good. I got this, right? And immediately, how do you know Grey and Evie? And I could turn around. I saw like a look of terror on their face, like they were not prepared, and I wasn't prepared. I was prepared to not be prepared. They were not prepared. And I said, oh, we've known each other forever. Let's go sing. We gotta go sing. Let's go get some shots. But it's like, we've just known them forever. It's like. Anyway, it was funny.
You thought it was funny.
Yeah, and I could tell, like the friends that my work friend brought. Hey, what's going on?
You thought they thought it was something was going on. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then those two inebriated ladies came in, and they were
putting out vibes.
They're putting out vibes. I was like, man, I wish my work friends weren't here, man.
One of the things
so easy
that you mentioned, I think, kind of offline, it was like it just hit me. CNC.
Mm-hmm.
That was one of the things that we've talked about doing too, because it interests me.
Yeah.
Right. That is a scene that would have to be very well thought out, planned out, and it has to be executed flawlessly for it to work.
Yeah.
Now, we have talked about it as a primal hunt.
Now that I would be, I think I would be okay with that.
We've talked about that with Loki and Christina.
Yeah, as long as you have a place,
right.
Like a big piece of land,
right.
Like,
I think it'd be cool.
Yeah, it's
turn
like,
the women loose and give them about so long. Now I've heard of it being played out different ways as well, which of course again had to be thought out.
Right, you have to set the rules.
But I have heard that the guys that go out, the first woman they find, that's who they play with.
Mm-hmm.
So you're trying to find your partner, but if you come across somebody else and you get them, then that's who you're with.
I think the men have a plan that we're gonna find them, we're gonna have some fun, but then we're gonna drag them all back to the campsite,
right?
And then we're gonna all have some fun.
Yeah. I like this plan.
I mean, and again, I have read about that numerous times, and I'm like, that would be something. But then I also stop and think about it. All right, well, shit, you got snakes.
Yes.
You got ticks.
Yeah.
You got.
What if I break my leg out in the
what if I
woods?
break my
Yeah,
leg?
exactly. You know, what if it's a broken bone?
This is what happens when you get old.
We're old.
Yeah.
Yes, I know, right? Or I think about like in my head, I'm like, I could run away, and I'm like,
Could you
you
imagine
could run
if
away
they
for a quarter of a mile, maybe?
and then they throw you on the ground and you're like, there's a stick poking me.
Yes,
Laying on a
yes.
My
briar patch.
adrenaline.
Yes,
Yep.
some poison ivy or
yes. Oh my gosh, yes.
So we've just ruined the scene, but it sounds so good. Now what we need like a big gymnasium thing.
Yeah.
Yes, that's
And
what
an
we need.
obstacle course, and then
Yes.
we run.
Yes.
Let's just get bouncy houses.
There you go.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you just fuck in the bouncy house.
That would be awesome.
Welcome to the primal hunt.
In the bouncy houses.
That way, if you get tired, you'd be like, "Hey, come here, jump right here beside me." That way, we just help you out.
That's easy.
I like that.
Well, they've got the, like if it would be cool if you could rent out the bounce, they always go.
The trampoline park.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yes.
Because you could like bounce
Hotel
your
takeover
shit
of the
away.
trampoline
Oh
park.
my God, that would be so awesome. The messes
All right.
that we'd leave though.
Oh
All
yeah.
right.
Yeah. Like, is this a thing?
Contact trampoline. park.
Yes, I do.
What does it cost?
I
Yeah.
guarantee there's one guy there watching, making sure you don't burn the place down. He's not going to be like,
He's gonna be like,
what
"This
you guys are
is
doing is
fun.
not okay.
Who's watching? I'm watching.
All right, guys, it has been a blast.
Yes.
I hate to end it now because I'm having so much fun, which just means we're going to have to
Have you
schedule
back
another
again.
time to do
Yeah.
it again. But before we do go, is there any kind of advice? Is there any words of wisdom? Is there anything that you all have thought of that you would share to people who is wanting to take that step towards swing lifestyle, towards BDSM, towards anything?
I got one. Be honest with yourself
Mm-hmm.
and be honest with your partner.
Yeah.
And don't stop talking.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you all mention it all the time with many of the guests that you have, but it's all about communication.
Absolutely.
The BDSM lifestyle is all about communication. You have to communicate effectively. And the swinging lifestyle is the same way.
Exactly.
It's all about communication.
Yeah.
So you have to be comfortable enough in your relationship that you can communicate your wants and needs, and that you are comfortable saying, "This hurt me. Can we talk about this?" And you have to know that your partner can hear that, and that you all can work through that.
Right.
Or that you can say, I would like this. Can we talk about if this is something that would work for us?
Yeah. Okay. And don't be afraid of rejection.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's going to happen.
Yeah. Learn to live with it.
Yeah.
All right.
Please follow, like, and share our podcast.
Make sure to visit thedomlife.com, where you can find pictures and other details about the Dom Life podcast. And through the Contact Us button, you can ask questions or provide recommendations for future episodes.
We want to explore your kink too.
Be sure to check out upcoming events to see where our adventures are taking us and our photo gallery to where we've been.
Thank you for joining us on this journey. We hope you had fun listening and learning with us.
Till next time, keep calm and remember your safe word.
Red, red, red.